We're going to make a sketch into a layout today, and the sketch we've chosen is from the virtual crop for August 2025 from Creative Memories. We're going to focus on making sketch number 1 right now, and it has a 4-inch band that goes across the top horizontally and another 4-inch band that goes vertically on the right side. When I looked at the blog, there was inspiration that showed a person using some scraps to really make this 4-inch band very decorative. And that inspired me to go to a recipe template. This is the Mirrored Ovals recipe template. And this is what it looks like. The plan for this layout is to take that 4-inch band and decorate it with these ovals on this 4-inch band of hot fudge color cardstock. This 4-inch band should hold these ovals approximately like this. To get things started, I like to think of this as sort of a quilt design, where we cut the pieces and put them together for this beautiful shape. So we're going to decorate our 4-inch band to give us a look something like this. I'm going to trace and cut out these pieces, and I'm going to begin by explaining the orientation of the template. Always begin with where the Creative Memories logo is to orient your template. As you can see, these ovals tend to be very vertical. So the first thing I'm going to do is rotate my template because I'm going to want the ovals going horizontal. I'm going to use a row that has 2 ovals. It's almost like an elongated figure 8. Each oval is made of 5 pieces. These 4 petals and this diamond shape in the center. So I am going to use scraps to make the petals and the diamonds. I'm about to do a step that I recommend that is going to help you with working with the recipe template. And because I'm only using a 4-inch wide piece in my layout, I'm going to make this template from a 4-inch piece. The step is to trace the template onto this white piece of scrap paper that I have. It's actually an index sheet from a collection. I'm going to do it in ink, so I hope it will show up boldly on the camera. And the reason I'm doing this is because you'll discover that not all of these pieces are interchangeable. Just because I cut one doesn't mean that it will fit in another place. They are very specific. So this petal shape would not necessarily fit in this space here. And because of that, it's best when you're cutting out your pieces for this recipe template that you match it to the spot that it was meant to be. In other words, you can't take this one petal and make 8 of them and have them fit like you wish. It would be nice, but you won't get the results you'll be pleased with. Now, I actually have done this once before, and I really liked it. This is a technique that is fabulous for using scraps. Now I'm not perfectly centered here, and I'm probably going to reach a point where I may decide to shorten things a bit. But at this point, I use the clips to hold my paper in place. If you don't have the clips, I highly recommend them. And this is what it looks like. Oh, it's flawed, and I missed a place. Let's fix that. I missed right here. Okay. Oh, that is horrible. Let's try it one more time. Okay, that's much better looking. So this is essentially kind of what we're going to get. The next thing I recommend that you do is to pick a spot, and I'm going to pick right here in my upper left because I read from left to right, and I'm going to number each one of these major petals and diamonds. So I'm going to number this number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. And here are the top 10. If I go back and make these pieces here, then they'll probably get numbered 11, 12, 13, etc. So now we have a template that shows where each of the petals are to go. So now I have my labeled template on paper here, and I'm going to start cutting out my petals and diamonds. And to orient where I want to begin, I just put a little piece of washi tape right here to let me know this is where my first petal is going to begin. Because as the template is moved and shifted around, I could lose my origin point, and I want to hang on to that. So let's begin by cutting our first petal, piece number 1. And I'm thinking I want this beautiful scrap of golden paper, which I think came from Autumn Cottage. And I'm thinking I want it to go, I want that piece to be about right there. This is a great opportunity to use the lift and shift method of tracing with your recipe template. So instead of making my pencil mark on the top of the paper, I want to make the pencil mark on the back side of the paper. So I'm going to flip it completely over. Okay, so now my template is face down. I know because my Creative Memories logo is backward. And my paper, the side I want, is also face down. But I can't see my template, so I'm going to lift it and slip it underneath. Fortunately, orientation of this paper doesn't matter. And so now I have my paper aligned so I can trace the back side of the paper. I'm going to trace the back. Now the template edges in some cases can slip a little bit. This one is pretty steady. And this is piece number 1. So since this is the back side of the paper, I'm going to write what number it is right on it. So you know what else I want? I want to make piece number 6 the same out of the same piece of paper, and there's room for it. So I want piece number 6 to be in the same paper, and I'm going to flip it over. And now I have a place for piece number 6 to go. And the orientation doesn't matter because the paper is not directional. So I'm going to trace piece number 6. And I'm putting that it is a number 6 right here. So I have piece 1 and 6 cut out. Next, I'm going to do the same thing for piece number 3. Piece number 3 is right here. I want it to be like this. So I'm coming here and I'm going to trace piece number 3. Now this is going to be pretty hard to see, but it is going to be there. And I want piece number 8 to show as well. This piece of paper is directional on both the front and the back. And I want my pattern paper to be directional like this on my template. So let's go back and align our template to get this where we really want it to be. Okay. So I want this to be directional in this manner. So I'm picking up the paper and the template and I'm flipping them over. Fortunately for me, the direction on the back is the same as the direction on the front. So I can use the lift and shift technique here. And to try to make sure I'm getting it as straight as possible, I'm going to actually use the lines in the design to place the template and trace. We have now traced our 10 pieces and I'm going to cut them out. I like how this has turned out, but I do think I want to make the remaining 6 pieces. Let's take a look at what we have so far. We'll put our 4-inch cardstock down, and we'll put our template overlaid. And let's give it a quick little dry fit, as they call it. Now, if the piece comes in as a little bit too big for our template, we just put it underneath. Now we would take some repositionable adhesive and put this down. And this is what one of our ovals would look like, sort of. And yes, I do want those pieces filled in. This gives us our first look at what this is going to be looking like. I'm going to go off camera, make the pieces 11 through 16, and come back when we have this ready to assemble. So now we have all of the pieces in place. Let's take the clips off and pull up our template and see how it looks. Okay, it's not perfect. And I'm pleased with this result. And I'm ready to move on to the next part of this layout. So now we have our top 4-inch band made, and we have a 4-inch piece going here to go with our sketch. And then next it calls for a nice decorative edge to go on either side of this page. So I'm going to select this border punch with the border maker system, and I'm going to cut 2 of these in hot fudge. I'm going to cut the scalloped edge at 1 inch. That will give me more than enough space to tuck this behind our vertical stripe. Once again, I'm cutting the second one at 1 inch, putting the top of the scallop at 1 inch. So now I have these 2 at 1 inch. For a reference point of view, I'm bringing this over to approximately 3/4 of an inch from the edge, and then we'll put down our border. This is a fairly wide border, but I believe in this case it's actually going to turn out quite nice. We're going to let a little bit of this bottom scallop show, but we could also tuck it in to be more narrow. But I think this design just goes beautifully with the oval design here. And now we're ready to add our photos. The sketch calls for essentially 2 6x4 mats, and then put photos on that it says are 5.5 by 3.5. I usually don't do my mats that wide, but I'm not going to do a mat. I believe my photos will be just fine without a mat. And here we have 3.5-inch squares that are not matted. And to my surprise, I actually found 3 photos that met that criteria. And then a 4x6 photo here. And I found this 4x6 variety mat that I think will be perfect as a journaling spot. And this is our layout before we adhere everything down. And I'm really pleased with this. I did not expect to like it this much. So I'll be back when I have it all adhered down. And here is our final layout. While the sketch does call for a title and for some embellishments, at this point I can't think of what I want to put on the page. But for right now, I'm considering it done and I'm ready to move on. And if you want to see more videos, as I do intend to finish the other sketches for the August virtual crop, please subscribe to my channel so you can watch them when they get uploaded. If you're not familiar with the virtual crops, it's a Facebook group, and they have monthly challenges on the second Friday of each month, and they release 4 sketches, and to be eligible to win a prize, you can enter your version of that sketch by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. But if you miss that deadline, there's a second chance where if you make all of the virtual crop sketches for the year in December, you will have a chance to enter another drawing.